So thank you all for joining today for the Baltimore Regional Safety Subcommittee meeting. We are recording the meeting and we do make it available both to the public now and we post it online. So I just want to make you all aware that we are recording this for public consumption. And still looking for any volunteers. If anyone wants to be the chairperson for this subcommittee, let me know. If you're not already familiar, we just meet quarterly, just 4 times a year. And it's all supported by me and BMC staff. So if you're interested, let me know. Okay, so we'll just jump right into the agenda. With your invitations and announcements for this meeting, I also attached minutes from our last meeting. I haven't received any changes by email. Did anyone have anything they wanted to share today? Any concerns or changes they wanted to make to the minutes?
I thought they were good, Cindy. I didn't have any changes.
Okay, great. Thank you. I like that too. All right, then we'll go ahead and accept them into record. No need to do formal votes or anything. So with that, we will move on to the next thing on our agenda, and that is to hear from Dr. Jay Zhang over at the State Highway Administration. Our first set of state updates. So go ahead, Dr. Jay.
Thank you, Cindy. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jay Zheng. I'm with Maryland State Highway Administration, Office of Traffic Safety. And here I would like to remind the opportunity to apply for the Highway Safety Improvement Program, or HSIP, for local projects. As you might already know, HSIP is a federal funded safety improvement program. So part of that funding can be applied on a safety improvement project on local roads, which means whether in your county or municipality, as roadways. So if you are interested for the funding opportunity, feel free to send an application and to me. So Cindy, thank you for sharing that application form on the screen. So if you don't have not received that invitation for application yet, feel free to contact whether me or Cindy. We'll be more than happy to receive your application. Or if you have any questions about anything on this application, feel free to contact me. So basically, I mean, we prefer to have a systemic approach to safety improvements, which means lower cost, everywide improvements on your roadways. Again, it's a local program, so those projects should be limited on county or city roads, not on state maintained roads. State highway has other funding source for those state maintained roads. In the past years, some counties applied for some intersections intersect by a state road with a county road. Unfortunately, that's not the intention for this local fund program. So that's all. And thank you again for this opportunity.
Great, thank you. We had a question from Phyllis. Phyllis, did you want to unmute and ask, or would you like me to ask for you?
No, I was just curious whether this was available for municipalities as well. And then I see where it says jurisdiction, town or city. So I'm assuming that it's for our local roads within our municipality. We could apply as well.
Yes. If it's for city, you
Yes.
can for that. But we do have some requirements that your local municipal city must have a local road safety plan or LRSP. So I know most of the counties in Maryland have such plan developed already or in development, but not many cities got that plan. So if you
Actually, Phyllis is one of your few that has a local SHSP for her towns.
We do. We had Bel Air, Havre Grace, and Aberdeen all had safe streets and roads for all action plans. So I'm assuming that that would address the local road safety plan or be similar to.
that should be good enough.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is this application on your website?
It's sent out by emails, and if you like, I can give you my email address. You can feel free to.
I'll reach out to Cindy and she can email it to me. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. And actually, I'll send it out. I'll forward his email to everybody for the subcommittee after the meeting today.
Great. Thank you, Cindy.
Great. Any other questions for Dr. J about the local HSIP funding? And we can always follow up if people do have questions. A bunch of folks in the region have gotten it over the past several years that it's been available, so we can always get together and share thoughts and ideas if you want, Phil. If you want putting together an application. I'm sure other folks would give you insight, but I also know Dr. J, from what I've heard from a lot of people, will work very closely with you and help you out. So,
Yes.
yeah. Great. Well, thank you.
What we on this shit ain't even trail development.
Was that another question? Okay. Okay, so next on our agenda was just some other updates from the Maryland Highway Safety Office. I will not call you out, but I do see that Rachel is on here from there, and as well as Tim, but I have some updates I got from Myra Weeman, the Deputy Director, I wanted to share with, and the two of you can jump in as you like. They're undergoing a office federal management review that we all love so much this week, so they're very busy. But she did want me to share that the Strategic Highway Safety Plan for the state, the new one that covers years 2026 to 2030, they're still waiting for final approval from Federal Highway, but they did post it on their website. She said it's important to remember that this isn't just MHSO's plan, but it's a comprehensive plan that was written with a lot of different types of stakeholder input from federal and state government, local DOTs, nonprofits, partners, advocates. Strategies are written in the document and will stay the same for the life of the document, but similar to a lot of your local SHSPs, while the strategies remain the same, the action steps are very fluid because hopefully we make progress or whatever may come up. We want that part of the plan to be flexible and adjusted. So they could be possibly changed throughout the 5 years of the plan. A new type of action step tracker is being developed and will be housed on their website, zerodeskmd.gov. So as more information comes out about this initiative, we'll have some more updates from Highway Safety Office folks at this meeting, but also I'll be sure any information gets sent out if it comes out in between our meeting schedule. The emphasis area team meetings have started for this new plan. And she says, so they're reminder that they're key to the development and completion of action steps. They meet quarterly. So there's an impaired driving group, pedestrian bicycle group, speeding, occupant protection and distracted driving, and then infrastructure is another emphasis area. The infrastructure emphasis area, the action plan and those strategies are going to be folded into two of the PED bike meetings throughout the year. So we'll make sure all that information gets out. So if you have interest in the infrastructure emphasis area piece, that you're aware of which PED bike meeting to attend. Always encouraging. We're always talking about everybody come join these emphasis area teams. It's really interesting and helpful to see what the state's doing. We can relate it back to our regional and local approaches and collaborate and go back and forth because we all benefit each other with our efforts and progress. So I will show you real quick where to find all of that on their website. Let me pull up the website if I can find the share button. I apologize. So, sorry, I had all of it ready. And then of course, as I have it ready, I miss it. Here we go. So if you go into their website, which is zerodeskmd.gov, you can go under road safety and choose a program area or emphasis area, like I mentioned. The ones on here that are a little different, like motorcycle safety, older driver safety, those are target groups and focus areas. But you can find information there as well. And you can find on their events page when their next emphasis area team meetings are and where they are. So our next one coming up next week, we have occupant protection and distracted driving, our meeting down at the MBA building where the Highway Safety Office is located in Glen Burnie. Then there's going to be an impaired driving emphasis area meeting at the end of the month. The PED bike group meets May 6th. That'll actually be at our BMC offices. And then June 2nd, the speed and aggressive driving team is going to meet again at the BMC offices. They always have virtual options, hybrid meetings. So you can come here to their website, learn more about their different emphasis areas. You can also come under Highway Safety Office, select Strategic Highway Safety Plan, and actually see the plan itself and everything that's under review. I believe that was all the notes I had for Myra. Did you guys have anything else you wanted to add, Tim or Rachel or anyone?
Nope, I think you covered it.
Okay, great. Thank you. The other thing, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot real quick. Before I leave their website, also under Highway Safety Office, you can choose Vision Zero. We've talked about these Vision Zero meetings before that the state holds. They are public meetings. You can watch recordings of the last meetings, and you can also see the upcoming meeting dates. April 16th is the next one if you're interested in that. And for our local partners, I'm waiting to get the list of cases that will be under review from the State Fatality Infrastructure Review. And once we get that pulled together, if there's any in your jurisdiction, I'll reach out. We can do some discussions. So local participation, they would really love to have them at these meetings. So I will follow up on that more with you. All right. If there's no other questions about state updates, I'm going to pass you over to one of my coworkers, Miss Miriam Sultan. She's going to talk to us about Bike to Work Week. So that's coming up, and there's been a lot of talk about it lately. So Miriam, go for it.
Hi, everyone. Just making sure you're seeing a moving PDF on your
Yep.
end. Okay,
Yep, all
great.
good.
Bike to Work 2026 is coming up this May. And I'll tell you a little bit about our planning so far, a recap of last year, and a few asks we have of the committee. Our BMC team includes people from communications, Lillian, our rideshare liaison, and also Andrea, who is leading the sponsorship. And just sharing this page so you can see our email address here in case you want to get in contact with us. It's bike to work with a 2 at baltimoremetro.org. These are some pictures from last year. Happy people, getting their shirts, biking around.
Is everyone still with us?
I'm here, Cindy. It's Janet.
Okay,
Yes,
thanks.
I'm here too.
Same.
Okay,
Same
I
with
think
this.
I was worried it was my glitch. I think it might have been
Yeah.
Miriam's. It looks like she dropped off, so maybe
What's
she's
it
going to
still
log
here?
back in.
Yeah, she froze up as she started her presentation, and then that was it.
Okay, I thought it was me. I'm over here going, oh
No,
oh no.
no, you weren't the only one. I'm sitting here going, what's wrong with my computer?
Yeah, we'll
Same.
give her a second to log back in then. Don't see her coming in right away. There she is.
Time for my VPN to crash my whole computer.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Maria. That's why I was like, oh my gosh, is it my connection? I wasn't sure, but I'm glad you're back.
Just
Okay,
get
so
back
here, let me make you a co-host again so you can share again. And
Okay, thanks for your patience. You know,
the
technology.
last thing I think I saw you were talking about the pictures from last year, I think was the last slide.
Yeah, everyone can see it again?
Yep.
Awesome. So yeah, some photos from last year. In 2025, we advertised on WBAL TV in the Baltimore Banner, Latin opinion for Spanish language speakers. We used Nextdoor, Facebook, and Instagram, had between all of that, had over 1 million digital impressions. Comparing 2025 to 2024, our registration dropped just a little bit, but was basically the same. You can see our statistics for each county in the region. One thing I'd like to note here is that the week of Bike to Work Week in 2025 had torrential rain. I was in Ellicott City for one of the events that had to be canceled, and it was flooding. So it affected registration a little bit, that the weather was not conducive to biking for a portion of the week. We're hoping to get higher registration numbers this year. Last year, everyone can still hear me, right?
Yep. Yep. You're good.
24 live pit stops throughout the region, including 16 in Baltimore City, 2 in Baltimore County, 3 in Anne Arundel, 2 in Hartford, and 1 in Howard. We didn't have one in Carroll or Queen Anne's County last year, but hope to pick some up this year in those counties. We had 18 pickup shops, which are local bike shops where people can go throughout the week, pick up their t-shirt, sign in that they participated. And we had 11 sponsors. So the t-shirt reveal for this year is, this is the color and this is the design that we're going to be printing out onto the shirts. They're not in yet, but excited for them to come soon. And the fabric will be a performance fabric, so that light polyester that's very breathable. Talking about 2026, it'll be running Bike to Work Week from May 11th to May 17th, with Bike to Work Day, as always, being the Friday of the week. Registration will open April 1st. Our sponsorship deadline was at the end of February, and we did meet our goal. So that's good. This month, we'll have the local events and Bike to Work Day celebrations finalized. And we'd love for you all to send us ideas for any local events. Applications are open. I'll share a little bit more about how to send those later on. Speaking of sponsorship, we wanted to get 22,000 in funding, and we got a little bit more than that, 23,500, and that's used for the advertisements, mostly just supporting the production of the event. And t-shirts is a big cost. So currently, I just went in the back end and checked this today again. The pit stops we have signed up. So just to talk a little bit more about pit stops, they're places that during the week have a table, maybe some snacks, and they're giving out t-shirts where people can stop on the way to work, on the way back from work, or any other time. Also in this category are things like group rides. We have currently 9 pit stops signed up to participate in Bike to Work Week, and we're hoping to get a lot more by the end of the month. Most of these are in Baltimore City right now, with some representation from Baltimore County and Anne Arundel County. However, we don't have any pit stops currently in Carroll, Howard, Queen Anne's, and Hartford counties. So it's a very low, lift ask, just to, if anyone can, any stop on the way between spaces, maybe a library, outside a library, maybe outside a community center, maybe outside a small coffee shop or business, just setting up a table. And once you have that pit stop idea, we'll send you t-shirts and we'll put it up on our website and advertise that the pit stop is happening. So just a couple of staff, a table with maybe a few snacks. We'll also send posters that you can print out and put on the table. And it'll be great to get representation from all the counties this year. As for pickup shops, which are bike stores that are signed up to have t-shirts all week long and let people come in and pick them up, we have Queen Anne's County, Howard County, Baltimore City, and Anne Arundel. Still looking for Carroll and Howard counties. I'm expecting that there might be a few less pickup shops this year, as some bike shops have shut down over the last year, including one of our key partners, which is the Trek Bikes in Federal Hill, and also Joe's Bike Shop in Fells Point is no longer there, although the shop in Mount Washington is still there. So if any ideas for bike shops, any contacts at bike shops, send those over as well. How to help us spread the word. So you can reach out for flyers and social media graphics to post on your channels. We have a sign up to save the date at our website, biketoworkmd.com. And I'm just going to drop this in the chat, the application for the pit stops and application for the pickup shops. And so these forms can be shared with any possible stops and shops. And those will be open until near the end of the month. And you can scan this QR code as well to go to our website. Here's an example of one of the save the date flyers that we have. This is the bottom of the flyer. So if you do want to get these materials, we're happy to send over the files for you to print. And that's all. Thank you. Any questions?
Are the flyers on the biketoworkmaryland.com so we could download them?
They're not downloadable on the website currently, but
Okay.
we can share with you them through email.
Okay, great.
If you drop your email in the chat, I'll make sure to collect those.
Sure. Okay, thank you.
Or you can email our email address, which I'll also put in the chat at any time for the materials.
Great. Thank you, Miriam. Any other questions or thoughts? I'm sure Howard County's going to come through for you with those bike shops. They always seem very, very active.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Yeah, I was surprised to not see Hartford on there because I know they've done the one downtown Bel Air for a while now. So maybe they just don't have their stuff in yet.
Yeah, they might be planning it, but haven't gone through the Google form itself.
I'll reach out to Alex Rawls, transportation planner with Hartford County, and see if he's going to participate this year. Okay.
Yeah,
Actually,
thank you so much. Just
yeah, and I was
yeah.
going to say I was going to email Ryan Kavinsky at Hartford because it's Hartford Transit is actually the one that sponsors it, and the one at the downtown Bel Air office. Actually, they also last year did one. I think it was their second year. They did it at the library. That was a bike from work event. So that one was in the evening pit stop at the library down on, I think it was Emerton Road. So I know they were trying to expand on that, on their outreach.
Yeah, any connections are good. I know we've been talking to I think Ryan is in our partner group.
Yeah. And
But
thank you. I apologize. I jumped on late, so I didn't get to do introductions. Amy Bell with Hartford County DPW. So I do the special event processing, so that's kind of how my segue into it. Phyllis, what department are you with?
I'm gonna be on the boat later.
Department of Planning Community Development with the City of Aberdeen.
The City of Aberdeen. Okay, great. Now I got a contact. Yay. Okay, thank you.
I'm glad you connected. I can see both of you ladies working very well together, so I'm glad you connected. Thanks, Miriam. I appreciate your time and you bringing this out here. I know a lot of the folks may not be on our bicycle pedestrian advisory group, but work closely with them, and this is certainly a great event. I would encourage everybody to sign up and register for yourself, even if you don't run a pit stop or a bike shop.
yeah, so our subtitle, I know that a lot of people now work remotely. A lot of people from in our region are retired as well who are signing up. So our subtitle is Bike Anywhere. So as long as you're committed to biking anywhere, we're happy to have you sign up. Even if you strongly want to bike but aren't able to that week, that's fine too. The more registrations, the better. It helps spread the reach and awareness of biking as a form of transportation and a form of commuting. We're happy to have anyone sign up and then pick up the shirts throughout the week. and represent Bike to Work Week. So don't worry if you're, fully remote or if you're no longer working. We're happy to have everyone on board.
Great, thank you. Any other comments or thoughts about Bike to Work Week, folks? Great. Well, thanks again, Miriam. I appreciate you making time today to share all this good information.
And I'm sure the other counties will come through as well.
I'm sure.
It's just this is just who signed up on the Google form so far, and any connections would be great.
Yeah, awesome. All right, folks. Well, thank you. And I'm going to skip over to some of my regional updates for you guys. Let me see if I can find this. So recently, we have to do it every year. We do highway safety performance measures, highway safety performance measure targets that every year the state submits up to federal highway, and then each MPO submits. So if you've been here for a while, you've heard me talk about this before. I'm just going to give a brief overview of how ours turned out this year. They went to our board last month for approval. So this is just a quick overview for everyone, just how the numbers have been playing out, both in the region and the state as far as fatalities and serious injuries. You can see our VMTs have really come back up to what were pre-pandemic levels. So we're back out there with that level of exposure, but we've actually come down between 23 and 24 for fatalities, which is good. 2025 crash data weren't fully quote unquote closed out to do these measures. So that's why almost everything I have in here today is through 24. So here you can see how both state and region have come down in fatalities. Unfortunately, we both had some upticks in serious injuries. So that's another measure we also want to try and reduce and bring down to zero. So we have some work to do there. And then the other measure is we look at non-motorist fatalities and serious injuries. So for this group, because it's just non-motorists, just pedestrians and bicyclists, they group together the fatalities and serious injuries. So you can see we saw slight decreases in 2024 in both of those groups. But what we did do is break them out so we could see which were the fatalities and which were the serious injuries. So similar to the overall numbers, even within non-motorists, we saw a decrease in those fatalities, the yellow bars, and then the serious injuries, we had a slight increase. You can see in those blue bars. Just to give a little bit of a perspective as far as the Baltimore region, we're about half of the crashes in the state, about half of the serious injuries and total injuries from crashes in the state, but only 40% of the fatalities, which is a good sign. So we're not, you would almost expect if we have 46% of the VMT, you would think we would have similar proportions of crashes and injuries and fatalities, but we have a lower proportion of the fatalities in our region, which is good for us, not necessarily good for others, but it gives us positive momentum to try to keep bringing them down. This I'll just leave in here. You could look later. This is about the federal regulations, about state setting targets. The region, the BRTB, decided years ago we're going to use the same methodology the state does to set targets, but we're going to make them specific to our region so we can really focus in on our numbers. So you can see here are the 5 measures: fatalities, serious injuries, and non-motorized fatalities and serious injuries. And then we have VMT rates for fatals and serious injuries. So you can see here in the middle, you have the actual figures from 2023 and 2024, and that percent change. Using the approach, which was to map out 5-year rolling averages and apply an exponential trend, this is what our targets come out to for 2030, what our goal is for 2030. In the cases where it was an increasing trend, which was the number of non-motorized fatalities and serious injuries, we apply a 2% annual reduction. The state and our board also agree we didn't want to set increasing targets. We always want to reduce and have some aspiration to what we're doing. So if it was an increasing trend, we still want to turn that around. So we applied a reduction. So this is just to let you guys know that these are our targets that we're setting. We tend to take the middle of this 5-year average as a single point. So you could say this would be the 2024 target year. So we can go back and apply that to what the actual was, and we can see here whether we met that target or not. Oops. Sorry, I flipped too quick. And just to let you know, this is the equivalent table, but for the state. So you can see the similar patterns with the percent changes from 2023 to 2024. Our serious injuries went up, like I said, and our fatalities came down. So as of today, I went on to the zerodeathsmd.gov website and pulled out the 2025 fatalities for each of our jurisdictions. So you can see overall, the state and the region saw about an 18% reduction in fatalities from 2024 to 2025, which is great. And we're trying to figure out why, and we're trying to really go with those efforts and continue this downward trend into the future. There's been a lot of things happening in the past couple of years with trying to mitigate speeds, reduce impaired driving, a lot of different efforts out there, whether it's automated enforcement or some other things that have happened legislatively, trying to figure out what really worked best for us and to just keep moving with that. And I know all of you are doing that on your local level in your local safety teams, but knowing that we're looking at it regionally in the state, their SHSP, I spoke a little bit about earlier, their teams are really focused on this as well. But you can also see here we had some big reductions in some of our jurisdictions. Anne Arundel and Baltimore City came down a lot. Carroll County, while it looks like, and Hartford looks like big percent increases, the numbers are so small. So still trying to figure out what happened and how we can turn that trend around. But overall, I think it's pretty impressive. We saw an 18% decline, almost 19% in the region. These are just some of the programs we're doing regionally here at BRTB. Well, all of you are doing. The first ones I have up there with the complete streets policies, your local safety plans, and safe streets and roads for all. We have projects in all the jurisdictions. The final round of that should be opening soon. We should be getting a notice of funding opportunity from the federal government here shortly in the spring. And then we'll all see what happens with the new transportation bill as it comes out. From what I hear, there's a lot of discussion of keeping something similar to Safe Streets and Roads for All in there. It may not be called that, but keep a lot of safety funding and getting some funding directly to local jurisdictions similar to that program. So hopefully that comes out. We still have the Look Alive campaign. We'll hear from Ken in a minute about that. We're doing a new project right now. Some folks have been involved in. We're looking at telematics data. And we have a consultant did a survey of some local partners, and now they're going to start talking to vendors of telematics data. So we're hoping around August or September, we'll have a final report that includes recommendations. It could be a regional recommendation for BRTB and all of us to work together. It could be more customized. Maybe what works for Harford County is different than what works for Anne Arundel, but to try to find ways to incorporate that telematics data so we can identify behaviors before they lead to the crashes. Find out when people are distracted or if they're hard braking or sharp accelerations that may end up being a near miss or non-crash, but still be aware of that and try to use that in our safety planning.
Cindy.
Yeah.
I just wanted to jump in for a second. We have actually a grant with IIHS, the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, and GHSA. So we've been working in street vision, so through Cambridge Mobile Telematics, and sometime around in April, we've already chosen about 10 corridors in Baltimore County. And so what street vision allows us to do is to get real-time data. So we've purchased about a year of data plus whatever we get going forward. And so those corridors were selected based on drivers who have actively tapped their phone while they're driving. And what we're going to be doing is those 10 test corridors are going to be compared to control corridors in Wycomico and Charles, which were selected because they won't get any media specific to this project. So we're actually using that right now in that project itself, we selected the corridors.
Okay.
The enforcement in the media will be taking place in April during Distracted Driving Awareness Month. And then God, I can't say the two I's back to back. IIHS will be doing some analysis on those actual corridors and seeing if there was any, changes in driver behavior based upon the media enforcement that was targeted in those corridors. So we're already kind of doing that, and we'll be able to kind of make those. I'm not exactly sure when the results will be available. Shouldn't be too long, so hopefully, at an upcoming meeting, we can present on what we found.
Absolutely. And it sounds like if you're doing that in April, it might come around the same time our report wraps up too, sometime in the fall, and maybe we can work with them all together and go forward. Maybe we make it a state solution and you guys buy the data, but I won't say that out loud. But no, that's great, Tim.
That
No, thank you for sharing that. That's great. And I'm happy to hear there's corridors in the region that are able to get that intervention. Whether it works or not, we'll see. But
yeah, and I can share that with you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And
once everything gets finalized, I guess.
Yeah, I think at least I'm so used to when I hear telematics data, I think of the sensors in the car. But like you said, this is when they're tapping their phone or holding their phone. And I think that cell phone data is so helpful.
It is still essentially based on that. So, I mean, it's pretty interesting. Street vision has some limitations, but it's still, it's interesting to see the information in real time. So
awesome. Well, yeah, I look forward to hearing about those results. Thanks for telling us about it. We'll definitely keep checking in.
Okay.
And then just the last thing I wanted to note real quick is in this last round of Safe Streets and Roads. Sorry. Oh, I think it was an open mic. This last round of Safe Streets and Roads for All, some funding did go to Harford County to their Public Works Department to do some infrastructure studies. And then another chunk of money went to the University of Maryland School or National Study Center partners to work to support the Baltimore City. I think it's called Vision Zero Plan now. It was an SHSP. I think they rebranded it Vision Zero to help support their safety action plan. So like I said, the final round should be coming out shortly. And then I just wanted to remind folks that we do have some dashboards up on BMC website if they're helpful for you. We update those at the beginning of every month. The state police dashboards are updated every day, every morning. So just wanted to let you know they were still out there if they're helpful. And that was my basic update. So I don't know if does anybody have any questions or comments for me or Tim Richards from the Highway Safety Office about their project? I have a million questions, of course, but I won't monopolize Tim. I'll just bug you at a different time. Okay, great. Well, I appreciate you guys' patience through all of our state and regional updates. We have some stuff going on, and I think we're all, at least speaking for myself, I'm happy to be coming out of the snowstorms and the sun coming out and the warmer weather. So I feel like that's going to reinvigorate us a lot to have more going on. And in that vein, I'm going to hand it over to Kenna with Sherry Matthews Group to talk about our Look Alive campaign that I know is coming out of the snow and is getting ready for spring and to actually get out there and to help our non-motorists. So I will pass it over to you, Kenna.
Okay, can you hear and see me?
We can hear and see you. We lost your presentation though. It was up.
Okay, let's see. Sorry about that, Microsoft. Okay, can you see that?
Yes.
We can see it. We don't see the full screen. We still see like the little thumbnails on the. Oh, okay. There you go.
How's that?
Perfect. There you go, girl.
Ta-da! Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Kenna Swift with Sherry's Group and the account director on the Look Alive campaign. sponsored by the Baltimore Metropolitan Council. The Look Alive campaign is a pedestrian and bicycle safety campaign featuring Signal Woman, who is the figure in a pedestrian sign that has jumped out and dishing out all sorts of safety advice. I think we're in our 8th year here in Baltimore. It was developed and is funded by the Maryland Highway Safety Office. And the overarching goal is to educate all road users on the safety tips that protect people walking and biking safe on the Baltimore area roads. And so we do that through a variety of outreach, including bus ads, video ads, radio ads, social media, street teams, and earned media to kind of amplify our efforts. And we do a really big push in September, October, in the fall. October aligns with Pedestrian Safety Month. We also analyze crash data, and that is when the pedestrian crashes in particular start to trend upward. Often because of visibility issues, there's less daylight hours. People are commuting, start commuting in those darker hours, the time change and all of that. Now everyone's just tired from the time change that we just had. And I did a presentation back in December with lots of pictures from all of our events and our activities in the fall. But this is just a high level look. We did 120 exterior bus ads. And those are targeting drivers, 120 interior, that pedestrian messages for those transit riders. We see that bus routes tend to overlap with high crash areas due to exposure of people paths with drivers. So we always find that bus ads are a really effective tool. We also have our Signal Woman videos that we do streaming over the top and YouTube and mobile video. And in the fall, we had 5.5 million digital video impressions and 4.5 million completed video views. We did 7 events. We had 5 Signal People street teams at high priority locations. We did 1 virtual reality challenge event in Baltimore County and 1 tabling event at a high school in Baltimore City. And I think the last time we hadn't completed our analysis of all of our news stories. We take all of our activities and pitch them out to the media to amplify and extend that messaging past the people that we're able to touch in person. And we achieved 30 news stories. 25 of those stories were broadcast news stories. And then we had 5 online news stories as well, reaching roughly $1 million in publicity value. So we use all of those metrics to determine success in addition to a post-campaign survey that completed in November 2025. 375 respondents. We try to get equal male, female, geographically representative in Baltimore County, Baltimore City, Anne Arundel County, Howard County, and Hartford, Carroll together. And we make sure we have drivers and then also a pedestrian segment of people who really mainly use public transit or walk or bike. Of course, we know drivers are also pedestrians multiple times a day, but we wanted to make sure that we had that key transit user represented as well. And our results from that, we have a huge deck with all of the data there. But the high level stuff is results are roughly half of respondents, 47% recalled seeing at least one look alive advertisement during Pedestrian Safety Month. That's steady awareness that we've had over the last 3 or 4 years, and receiving the maintaining those visibility and recall year over year is consistent with we're spending the same amount of money, we're achieving the same recall, so that makes sense. We have seen unprompted signal woman recall increasing. So when you say, hey, have you seen any pedestrian safety advertisements? More people are saying, oh, yeah, there's that one with the little figure, the woman in the signal. So that has increased. We're glad to see that. We also ask respondents to rate the relevance, the memorability, and kind of the motivation to be uptake those safety tips. And each one of the ads was judged to be relevant, memorable, and motivational for the majority of respondents. And finally, the main source of ad awareness was online, followed by street TV and public transportation, which again follows with that media spend. And I just wanted to give a short update on what's going on right now. Of course, the weather is warming. We're all loving that until next week, or tomorrow. But we more people are out walking and biking. We have been working with police departments in the region, and we've had a long-standing partnership with Baltimore County Police Department, Lori's team there. And this year we're really trying to cultivate more those partnerships with more police departments across the region who are grant funded and out there doing enforcement of the laws that protect people walking and biking. And so we've reached out to probably a dozen police departments, and we've expanded those relationships with Baltimore City and Arundel County, even out to Mount Airy and Harford County, and really supporting them with customizable media outreach materials, social media posts that can highlight those laws and those events, and also pitching the events to try to get media to come out as well. And so that's happening right now in the March and April time period. So we have resources available to police departments in case we're not talking to the right person, or there's someone that is interested in these resources that we have for police departments to take advantage of. We're happy to do that, and we're trying to kind of consolidate, because the more effort we can show region wide, the more of a news story, the more people will pay attention. So it's consolidating and creating kind of more of a megaphone to amplify efforts region wide. We also have the Look Alive VR challenge coming up in a couple of places. This is a highly visible, engaging educational activation where folks sit in a campaign-themed convertible with a 360-degree video headset on, and they spot pedestrians and sidewalks in three common high-risk scenarios. An unprotected left turn at a signal, a right turn across a bike lane, and then kind of that multiple threat as you're coming up next to someone stopped at a crosswalk. And then the participant's experience is projected onto a large screen, so onlookers can also see those critical points. It's fun, it's engaging, it's visual, and it is a very popular activation. We also at the event have safety tips and some photo opportunities. We bring a Polaroid, and people can use props, and in that signal woman kind of humor, memorable props to take the message home with them. And we have two events coming up next month. We have the Town of Mount Airy Teen Driver event at the Mount Airy Carnival Grounds on April 11th. That's a Saturday. And then the next day will be in Arundel Mills Mall all day on that Sunday. So I think you have to register for the Teen Driver event. But Arundel Mills Mall, stop by, come see us. Try your pedestrian safety skills in the virtual reality challenge. And I just wanted to touch on the resources that we have for organizations and departments in the region. We have the event toolkit, which lives with Cindy at BMC. We have a full event setup. So if you want to have an engaging, interactive educational opportunity at events in your jurisdiction, we have a spinning trivia wheel. People, I don't know what it is. People love to spin a wheel. Has questions on the front and answers on the back of pedestrian safety related trivia. We have a portable photo stand there on the left. You can see with a head cutout that you can become the pedestrian icon as well. And then a branded tablecloth and talking points to make it easy to use all of these things. You can use any any or all if you have your own tablecloth or other props. Cindy's your woman to take to get that checked out. And then we have our monthly social media toolkit with customizable copy, graphics, and videos featuring Signal Woman. We relate it to all of the sort of seasonal happenings, whether that's the time change or spring weather, taking your bike out after winter, doing the maintenance on that. So relevant, seasonal, customizable items there. We also have PSAs. You can see Howard County. We did some custom PSAs for their bus shelters, and then some bus ads in Anne Arundel County as well. And so if you have to outdoor media, we can print PSAs based on the campaign. And then we also have safety brochures and a full list of our resources available are on lookalivemd.org. And I think that's all for today. Are there any questions?
Thanks, Kenna. That was a lot, but
Hopefully I didn't ramble too much.
no, you're fine. We're gearing up for spring. So if you want to get the social media toolkits and don't get them already, the monthly ones, they're posted, like she said, on the website, but I can also be sure they get out to you. Yeah, the event.
Yeah, we email them out every month as well for reminders to people on our list. So if you want to be on our list, reach out to me or Cindy to get this monthly toolkits.
And Phyllis, you did give us a contact last time up there with your local transit. I apologize, it's kind of gotten away from me, but we are definitely going to reach out to them to get up into Harford County and expand our reach up in there for sure, especially now as the weather's turning and getting nicer. And that event, the toolkit that Kenna mentioned, we took to the Howard County open house, transportation open house last week. And they love people love the wheel. They wanted to come up and just because it sounds like Wheel of Fortune, like it's got a very distinct sound to it, you know. So it's certainly
just fun to do.
Yeah, and we wanted to make it easy. It comes in two bags, the pop-up banner in one and the wheel in the other. There's even a little step stool for little folks that might, younger folks that want to get up in the banner and couldn't reach. We had that at the Baltimore City event. We had some younger kids that just really wanted their picture, so got a step stool.
Yeah. Very popular with the elementary school age.
Yeah, so if you have any ideas or you want to use any of our Look Alive stuff, let us know. Certainly still have room in the budget for it and want to continue working with all the local plans for sure. Any questions or thoughts for Kenna about Look Alive? Okay. Well, thank you, Kenna. I appreciate you bringing all of that update because it was a lot of update from last time. It was still some left over from the fall and then closing out the year. So thank you very much. I did want to share a couple things. We're going to get into the local updates, but as we do that, I wanted to share a couple quick things with you first. So let's see here if I can do this correctly. So one thing that's coming up, we actually, through our bicycle helmet safety grant with the Highway Safety Office, helped Anne Arundel County Police Department. If you still have a little bit of Olympic fever, they're having their police department's hockey team is having an event against a team out of Australia is coming up. That's going to be on Saturday in 3 days down at the Piney Orchard Ice Rink. It's going to be a great big event. It's to benefit a police family, retired police officer, their adult, but their child was on an e-bike without a helmet and unfortunately had an incident. It wasn't with another car or anything, but did fall off the e-bike and suffered a traumatic brain injury. So they're making the whole event about bicycle safety and they're going to have helmets there. They're going to have a lot of educational outreach, a lot of things. All the proceeds are going to go to that family and their child's medical care. But so I still have a ice hockey kind of mindset coming out of all of that. And we still have the Paralympics going on now. So it looks like a really great event. And they got a team to come up from Australia. So if you're in the area or have any interest, you can check this out on Saturday, March 14th. And then one of the other things I wanted to share with everybody is M.SHA has been having some public meetings. And Aaron, I think if I say anything wrong, you can correct me out of our district office, one of our district offices. But I know there's 2 public meetings coming up. At least there's probably more, but there's one here on next week on March 18th over in Middle River. It's about a safety project that they're planning and want public feedback on Route 700 over on the east side of Baltimore County. And then another one they're having the following week on March 24th at Franklin High School is for a safety project along 140 up on the northwest side of Baltimore County. I did a quick review. I'm sure there's some other ones in the region, but I'll get a list out to everyone after this. There are bike to work week setups there. There are other safety things, but it's very exciting seeing a lot of these safety projects coming to fruition. And some of them are pedestrian safety action plan projects and things like that as we try to move forward and make all of our roads safer. So wanted to let you guys know about those. And with that, we can jump into any local updates. If I won't call anyone out because I know we all hate that, even though I still do it sometimes. I'll just we'll think alphabetically with Anne Arundel County. If there's anyone on that wanted to give any updates about that. I know we have some upcoming safety events with bike helmets being distributed. The Vision Zero team has been meeting and trying to do some more stuff within their schools as well. So some good stuff happening in Anne Arundel. Baltimore City, I'm not sure if anyone's on from there with their Vision Zero team. They have their high injury network they put up last year online, and we saw they got some Safe Streets and Roads for All funding to keep advancing and support their safety action plan. We do have, I digress. I did forget one other thing. I did want to show the Lifesavers Conference, just as a reminder to everyone, is coming to the region. It's coming to Baltimore City, to the convention center. This is in about 6 weeks. It's April 19th to the 21st. If you haven't already registered or thought about it, I would encourage you to. We have a lot of local and state folks that are going to be giving presentations there. I know we have a traffic incident management session as well as the 4-hour national training we're going to hold on Saturday for folks. So as far as that'll be in Baltimore City, like I said, in about 6 weeks. Baltimore County, I see some folks on here. If you want to say anything, they've updated their SHSP and they're going for their executive approval now. So that's exciting. They're on their second iteration of that to get that out there. And like I said, they have some of these public meetings with MDOT/SHA going on. Is there anything else for Baltimore County? Okay. Carroll County has some other school events and bike safety events coming up. We know about with their safety helmets. They're also a very important partner with a lot of our data dashboard and data analytics projects. So things are pushing forward out there in Carroll County as well. Harford County, they are about to have a traffic safety advisory board meeting to approve their next SHSP at the county level. I think this is their third or fourth one. They've been doing it for a long time. So that's encouraging. And they got, like I said, their county DPW got Safe Streets and Roads for All funds to do safety studies. I see some other folks. I'm not lumping you in with Howard County, Phyllis, but I don't know if you had anything from Aberdeen or anybody else, since not technically county, but still.
That's okay. Municipality.
Yes.
So we're working closely, and I'm sure you're aware of this, with District 4 on the pedestrian safety action plan for Aberdeen on the Route 40 corridor. We're very excited to see that get started. We know that it's still in the design phase, but we hope it's fully funded and we can actually see those pedestrian improvements, because that, between the speed needing to be reduced, the pedestrian signals that need to be added, crosswalks, we have had several fatalities on our Route 40 corridor. So we're anxious to see that moving forward. And I'm very happy to hear about the application that Jay spoke about, so that we can implement some of the improvements in our action plan. I know that Bel Air has moved forward with some of their improvements. They've been able to get funding. So that's very encouraging for me for that. And our Station Square, in our transit development area right off of Route 40. That is, we looked at 8 proposals, narrowed it down to 1. And that is for design and engineering and architectural, and of course feasibility to see if the project's going to move forward or not for a pedestrian underpass. So that's moving forward as well.
Yeah, I heard about the TOD project. I just wasn't sure the stage of it. So I'm glad to hear you have essentially a consultant selected. You've narrowed it down to 1.
We do. Yes, it's very exciting. So,
and 40 up there through Aberdeen has always been a tough spot. So I was very happy to see it on the PSAP list, and that it got to the top. So
yes, I'm very happy about that as well. So is our elected officials. So thank you, whatever you've been able to do, Cindy, to help us shepherd that. Thank you.
I take no credit. I've done nothing for that. I'm just happy to see it when I see it.
Yes, me too.
So.
Me too. Me too. Thank you.
Anybody else from Harford County? Howard County has, like I mentioned, they just had their transportation open house, which was very well attended. A lot of folks came through for those few hours. And they're also working on an update to their strategic road safety plan and doing 10 million other things over there. I've already had meetings that Connor was in this morning. I don't know if you want to add anything, Connor, but he's also been a key partner in our BRTB projects about crash data telematics. We just closed public comment on our work program for the next year, and included in that, which hopefully continues to be approved, we're going to have a project to try to get a consultant to help do road safety audits across the region and model them after a program that was started in Howard County last year. So more to come on that. Okay, nothing else from Howard County. Queen Anne's County, I don't know if Steve is on here. They're finalizing and getting ready, hopefully soon, to put out. They got their Safe Streets and Roads for All funding all signed off and officialized and everything with USDOT so they can put out a call for a consultant to help them build a road safety action plan. And they also have some programs coming up in the spring and summer for bicycle safety for schools and younger folks. So looking forward to that, especially as the weather gets nicer. A lot of us want to go over the bridge and head that way, so that should be helpful. Is there anything else from anybody in the group that I either didn't mention or you want to be able to share? We've got a wide range of partners here doing good safety stuff. No? Quiet group today. We all want to get outside before the rain comes. Well, then that is all I had for today. I thank you all for being here and for sharing with us. Our next meeting is going to be on June 10th. I am hoping to make this one an in-person meeting, so you'll hear from me soon to be sure if that's okay. Most people that replied to my survey said they would like to have an in-person meeting. And almost all the ones that said that said they were good with BMC or somewhere in the area, BMC being a central location for us to come to. If you would like to volunteer your spot, please let me know if you want us to come visit you and hold the meeting. So far, no one's done that, but you'll be hearing from me because hopefully in June, if it works out, although it's a busy time with vacations, but hopefully either June or September, we can all meet in person and get that vibe back that we had, I guess, 5 years ago now. So let's see, is there anything in the chat? I don't see anything. All right, anybody else? All right, well, thank you again for joining us, and I will be in touch soon, and I hope everybody has a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
You.